Okay, it's time to talk about custom visuals. One of my favorite visual I'm going to talk about today, and that is the reason. If you see over here, I've kept the space as I've promised you earlier. I'll be discussing this part, and I'll reveal. So, what is this? This is basically going to be a scroller. You generally see the scroller or a news flash on your television for on these news channels, and maybe for the stock market you may see that for every stock they are just the prices are scrolling away. Okay, so this is the exact same visual we have in Power BI, not as a part of the Power BI, but it's going to be a third party visual, and it's verified, so do not worry about it. There are two types of visuals we have into third party visuals, which is one is verified by Microsoft, one is not. So you can go ahead with the verified one securely. I know security is the major concern. So under the visualization, if you see, you have these three dots. And let me aware you uh, of one thing, that if you want to use the third party visual, you must be signed in. If you see over here, my name is appearing, it means I am signed in. If you're not, just click on the sign in and just go ahead and sign in. It won't ask you any payment related information. It won't ask you to upgrade your account, nothing. You just need to put in the email address and a couple of basic information, your name and all, and you are good to go. You are signed in, and then only you will be able to use the third party visual. One more thing you need to keep in mind, that you have to have an official email ID. You can't use your Gmail or a Yahoo email ID. It won't accept it. Okay, so you have to go with only an official email ID. One tip I would like to give you, that if you are a student or you do not belong to any organization, you are struggling to have the email ID, what you can do, you can actually create an account at Microsoft, and there you can create an email ID at microsoft.com, kind of an email ID, and it will give you about I think 30 days of, I think 15 days of free trial. Okay, so for the learning purposes, you can go with this. That you need to search yourself. It's available. Just go to Google, search for this. If you want to create an email ID, just have that trial started, watch this video, and just play around with me, right? So that you can do. So I'll go with these three dots. I'll go with the get more visuals, right? So I'll click on the get more visuals, and it'll give me a pop-up now. Okay, there we go. We have the pop-up, and you can see it's an amazing place to actually get something which can't be done in Power BI. I personally use few visuals from here. I have created, I've used them because of the client requirement. There are, at many times it happens that something which client need and do not exist in Power BI, and you will notice that you will get all such things from this third party visual. So I personally love it. This is something a lifesaver, because at times we have to use it as a consultant. So I personally use it a lot. You can also go ahead with this. And what I was talking about is a scroller. I simply just scroll it down for you to show you that what all kind of things we have. Timeline slicer, something which is not there in Power BI already, and heat map is there, right? Histogram is there. A lot of things are there. Dual KPI, something which it do not have, and sunburst chart, which is there in Excel but not in Power BI. Amazingly, surprisingly, we don't have it over here. And then dial gauge chart, lot many things, lot many. The text filter is also there. You will use it. Let me tell you, you will use it a lot, and just play around. I personally use this one also, Zebra BI. This is personally if you belongs to a finance background, if you are into accounts or maintaining any account statement like P&L or balance sheet, I would highly recommend you to just play around with this. You will be amazed to see how much time it's going to save you, and amazing visuals. Okay, I've used it. I've provided training onto this also. So just play around. It's a paid one, by the way. It's a premium one. So there are few visuals you will find partially paid and partially free. So depends. And it has two things: Zebra V8 charts and Zebra V8 tables. Okay, it's not sponsored. Okay, I'm just telling you because I've used it and I liked it a lot. So very good time saving visual. What I was talking about a scroller. So I can simply search over here also. Scroller, here it is. Okay, and I'll simply click on add. Let me show it to you quickly. And I'll just click OK, right? And I've got this visual. Let me tell you one thing. If you just keep it like this and you use it, it won't, I mean, something that you want to make it a part of your Power BI program. It is not right now. It is just for this particular report. What you can do, you can right click and you can pin to the visualization pane. So it will simply go from here and just be the part of the visualization above. Look at that. It means now it will stay with you, with your entire program. That is one advantage that you have. Okay, I'm not going to keep it with me. I'll simply right click and unpin because for the sake of showing the learning and all, I just keep it over here. Okay, so now I'll show you how we can use it. I'll click on scroller. Okay, so the visual has been added. Let me just drag it over here and keep it at this place. Okay, almost perfect. Let me just squeeze it. It should not cover the margin area. Okay, so we have the visual. I know it's very small strip, but it's okay. It will be showing us the entire data. So it is asking for the category, measure absolute and measure deviation, three things. First of all, I would like to show the revenue. Okay, and so let me drop the revenue over here. Revenue into measure absolute. So you can see something came up over here, and if I increase the width, you will notice that revenue is actually coming. The moment I hover over, that is fine. So it is actually coming as the total revenue. But what if I would like to show the product wise revenue? So that is what I need to put it into the category. So I'll search for the product name, and I'll drop it over here into category. If I drop the country, so it will show the revenue based on the country and so on and so forth. So you can see I'm getting the revenue for each product. Okay, very interesting. And let me squeeze it first, and then I'll show you one more option here. First, I'll go over here and turn off the title. It is not required to mention the same, and I'll just squeeze it to fit it into this space, and it will be very much visible. So do not worry about it. I can expand it slightly if you want. This is good. And one more thing, you will notice one thing that, okay, I'm getting the values, and let me just also format it so that it will become easier to understand these values. So I'll keep this revenue selected as we have done earlier also, and I'll click on this comma. So you'll notice that it will be comma separated values over here, and which looks quite good. There we go. Okay, and I'll keep the decimal places. One more thing, if you see in the fields, you will notice that we have the product name in the category, we have the measure absolute as revenue, but what is measure deviation? What is deviating this? So I would say that you remember the year on year growth, the comparison. Let me just drop it over here for the sample purposes. I'll just drop it over here, and now you'll see that it even also shows the ups and downs. You can see the green color triangle. I'm talking about this, right? The moment you hover over it will stop. The green color triangle is all about that, okay, it has raised, there is an increase, there is a growth, positive growth in the revenue year on year. So that's very interesting. I really like it, and you can also make it a part of your report. Very impressive for the consumers of the report, right? So I hope you liked it. The purpose of the entire video is to show you that how you can actually use a third party visual. There are many, Just play around, use the one that suits you. Thank you so much.